Just starting out with credit? Here's what you need to know. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Jose Rodriguez, also known as the Credit Dude. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm glad you're here. Today, I'm going to be talking about building credit for the first time. A lot of you may just be starting out with building credit. No matter how old you are, credit is very important to anything we do, whether it's getting a job, whether it's applying for a loan, or pretty much applying for an apartment, and especially when you're trying to get a mortgage or a car. So today I want to talk to you about why credit matters. Pretty much your financial reputation is everything. So if you do not have any credit, you could be making X amount of dollars, but if they say, hey, we want to do a background check on you to see if you've ever had credit, you might get declined. And I promise you, it's not a good feeling, especially when maybe you don't even know how the credit affects you. So today I want to break that all down for you. So not only can you know about credit, but I want you to understand it and how to properly use it to your advantage. So as you know, good credit does unlock opportunities. So if you're maybe going for a job and there's two people ahead of you and you might not have the credit score, let's say you do have the better credit score, or the better credit, that could put you in an advantage. And especially when it comes to maybe getting a lower interest rate on auto insurance, or even getting a lower rate when it comes to getting a car. The earlier you start building credit, the better. Maybe you're trying to move out. Maybe you're trying to, you just got married and you're trying to purchase a home for you to start your family. Having that bad credit and having, a poor credit score can actually hold you back a few years, but it does something to our mental. It actually does something to us mentally where, sometimes we feel defeated. And I definitely do not want you guys to feel that way. So make sure you stick around so I can explain to you how everything is going to work, how to put you in a good position down the road, and how to make sure that you ultimately win with your credit. So first, let's talk about understanding the basics of credit. I want to explain to you how credit works and how pretty much the credit score impacts you ultimately down the road when it comes to applying for things. Credit is pretty much your promise to pay back whatever it is that you borrow. There are different types of credit. There are auto loans, there's mortgages, there's credit cards, there's lines of credit, there's student loans. So pretty much depending on where you stand credit score wise, and depending on what you are trying to borrow or apply for, it depends on interest rates, it depends on your monthly payment. Your income does affect some of these. Typically, the bank is not gonna extend you credit if you don't have any proof that you can pay it back. So credit scores do range from 300 to 850. So typically you have 550 points that are categorized by 5 categories. So you have payment history, you have debt utilization, you have time in file, you have inquiries, and you have mixture of credit. I do have another video explaining how credit scores work and how they're broken down. So make sure you guys check out that video. And I want to let you guys know that the importance of having good credit is ultimately going to get you those things that you ultimately want. So if you want that job, if you want that car, if you want that mortgage, and what you have to make sure you do, make sure you make your payments on time. Make sure that if you are borrowing money, make sure that if you are borrowing credit, that you're not late. The banks do not like it when you're late. Also, if you do borrow credit card and you apply and you have a $300 limit, make sure that you're not keeping $300 at all times on there because it does look like a risk. So you want to make sure that if you're going to borrow money and you're going to apply for a credit card and use that credit card, make sure that you're paying it down wisely, but you're also only using what you have in the bank. And especially if you're not managing your money, so whether you manage your money or not more than anybody else. So if you're not, if your bank account is negative and you're pretty much not saving, that is going to ultimately impact your credit because it means that you're not going to have the money to pay back what it is that you borrow. So now let's talk about building your credit foundation. One of the easiest ways that you can build credit is by getting a secured credit card. So a secured credit card is typically a card that, let's say you have $200. You would then give the bank $200 and they would give you a $200 credit card. The reason why this is great is because you're securing the credit card with your money. Sometimes they won't ask you for an inquiry. They won't ask you for a hard pull. So this is good because you can kind of start building off credit without any effect to your credit score whatsoever. One of the other things you could do is if you do have a family member that does have a credit card already, ask them to be an authorized user. This is one of the easiest ways, and it's actually one of the best ways for you to build credit. Because if you have a mom, dad, cousin, friend, and let's say they have a $5,000 credit card with 10 years of history on it, on-time payments, it's not maxed out, that information for that credit card will now jump onto your credit report, boosting your credit score instantly, and a lot of magic will happen when that happens. Now, just stay away from buying authorized user trade lines from people you don't know, because that's a little bit of the gray area when it comes to credit repair. The other thing you can do is get a secure pledge loan. So a lot of banks like Navy Federal and other credit unions will allow you to pretty much put down $1,000, $2,000, similar to a secure credit card. And pretty much what you're doing is you're paying your loan back with your own money. And then obviously once you're done paying that loan, you'll get the money back. So secured loans are a good way to build credit, and it's also a good way to save money. Remember I was talking about managing your debt previously? This is a good way to make sure you're saving and building credit at the same time. Next, I want to make sure that you monitor and improve your credit. So if you do have any negative items on your credit report, the easiest way to know is go to www.gotcreditmonitoring.com. This is going to allow you to check your credit report, see what's on there, make sure your payments are on time. It's going to let you know, okay, what's my credit score? What are my credit limits? Are the accounts that I applied for actually on there? Are these accounts that are on there actually me? Did I apply for all these accounts? Is my name correct? Is my address correct? You want to make sure that you regularly monitor your credit, because how do you know if it needs to be fixed if you're not checking it? Also, you want to make sure that you do dispute any inaccurate information on there, okay? You can hire us here at Got Credit, or if you want to dispute on your own, you can do that as well. You want to make sure you dispute anything inaccurate or late, anything negative. If you have collections on there, charge-offs, any type of bankruptcies, any type of inquiries you don't recognize, it is your right under the Fair Credit Reporting Act to dispute any information that you think is inaccurate and also unverifiable. Lastly, just make sure you're watching your credit utilization, guys. Make sure you're watching your debt. Make sure you're not overextending yourself. Just because the bank gives you 3 or 4 credit cards at a $3,000 limit does not mean that you want to go ahead and max every single credit card out and then drop and tank your credit score. And then if you don't have that money in the bank to pay it back, that is where bad credit happens. And then that's where you're never going to escape the chains of having bad credit. Lastly, I want to make sure that you take control of your credit and also your financial future. Listen, guys, you cannot get an 800 credit score overnight. It does take time. It does take discipline. So make sure that you're starting to build credit the right way. You understand these basic principles and these basic guidelines. So that way, when somebody else needs help, or when you know that yourself needs help, you know exactly what steps to follow. I can tell you that as long as you follow these basic steps, you'll never need credit repair, and you'll always be in a good position. So that way, when you do apply at the bank or you do apply for a mortgage, you'll always get approved. Now, just make sure that as you practice these good habits, that you're staying consistent with it. It's a lot of the times, we go to the gym for 2 months, 3 months, and then we fall off and, oh my God, I should have went to the gym again. It's kind of like that. You want to make sure that you're staying consistent. Pay on time. Don't overextend yourself. Like I said before, guys, if you have a $3,000 credit card, but you only have $500 in the bank, just use the $500. Don't overextend yourself to put yourself in a bad position. But if you do need help and you do need someone to help you with disputing negative items in your credit, you can just go to www.gotcredit.com/sign up. It'll explain the process of how we can help you out, or you can go ahead and comment below any questions and I'll make sure to get back to you. So don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also hit the notification bell so that way when I drop new videos, you'll get alerted right away. See you guys in the next one.